In this lesson, we'll continue with our study of section 2.4, and that was using the sine and cosine ratios to find angles in right triangles. We'll quickly review the angle of elevation, and again, the angle of elevation is the angle between the horizontal line and the line of sight from an observer. So if you notice, here's the observer's eyes, and this would be the horizontal line. This would be the line of sight, and there would be your angle of elevation, sometimes referred to as your angle of incline. So in our first example, we have an observer sitting on a dock watching a float plane in Vancouver Harbor. At a certain time, the plane is 300 meters above the water and 430 meters from the observer. Determine the angle of elevation to the nearest degree. So we need to draw ourselves a diagram of the situation. So here's the plane up top here. This will be our observer. And it says the plane is 300 meters above the water. And it says the distance from the observer to the plane is 430. Now that's not the horizontal distance, that's the actual distance from the observer to the plane. And we're asked to find the angle of incline. So this is the angle theta I'm looking for. I know the opposite side and the hypotenuse. So therefore I'm going to use the sine of angle theta. And that's going to be 300 divided by 430. And just like we did before, I'll take the sine inverse of both sides. And then I'll use my calculator to evaluate that value. So it's going to be sine inverse of 300 divided by 430. And to the nearest degree, that works out to be 44 degrees. So we write our statement that the angle of elevation is approximately 44 degrees. Oops. Okay, in the next example, I encourage you to pause the video and try to set this one up on your own. Okay, I hope you had a chance to try this problem. So let's take a look. It says that a rope that supports a tent is 2.4 meters long. The rope is attached to a point that is 2.1 meters above the ground. What is the angle of incline of the rope to the nearest degree? So we have our ground, we have our side of our tent here. Again, doesn't really matter how we draw it. There's our tent, and it says that a rope supports a tent. So the rope is 2.4 meters long. And it says the tent is 2.1 meters above the ground. And we are looking for the angle of incline of the rope to the nearest degree. So again, I know the opposite, and I'm looking for the angle that I know opposite and hypotenuse. So therefore, the sine again of theta is going to be opposite, which is 2.1 divided by 2.4. Therefore, if I take the arc sine of both sides, I'm going to have arc sine of 2.1 divided by 2.4. And if I calculate that on my calculator, I end up getting approximately 61 degrees. So again, the angle of incline is 61 degrees. So again, you can see there's nothing new in this section. It's just that we are applying the concept learned earlier in section 2.4 to word problems. So there's your assignment for the application section of 2.4. Give those a try. The answers are on the web page for you to look at. Thank you.